This is a question that I get asked a lot living here in Japan. How is it that the United States could elect someone like Barack Obama and then also elect somebody like Donald Trump? And I think that's an interesting question. It's a complicated question, and I think a lot of people want to say that America is divided and that there are two kinds of people. There are Trump types of people and there are Barack Obama types of people. And that these two types of people don't understand each other and don't like each other and are trying to dominate the country. And I guess a different group of people voted for Barack Obama than voted for Donald Trump. That's kind of true, but I think it's more complicated. Because there were people who voted for Barack Obama and voted for Donald Trump. And I guess that I would say that the best way to explain why the same country could elect such different kinds of people is actually to look at something that a lot of Americans have in common. And those are two things. One, to be an American is to be what you believe. Two, to be an American is to be a revolutionary. I think the second thing, Americans as revolutionaries, that's pretty easy to understand. We began with a revolution against the Empire of England at the time. And so this idea that politics is about overthrowing systems of the past and bringing in new systems, that's very basic to American politics. And that is something that both Barack Obama and Donald Trump were selling. So, for example, Barack Obama represented an overthrowing of America's racist past. Whether or not that actually happened, that was the idea, that we were going to overcome the old systems that had defined America, the old racist systems, and we were going to somehow bring in a new American identity. And it also represented a vote for a kind of government where the government's job is to create new systems, build a more healthy environment for Americans to live in. The Republican Party tends not to be in favor of building new institutions, whereas the Democratic Party has traditionally been about building new systems of government. This idea of creating something new, that's very exciting for Americans. Now, Trump also represents a revolution. It was supposed to be a revolution against an elite class of people who went to places like Harvard or Yale. This idea of a group of educated people who control our access to information. So Trump is very much campaigning against newspapers and television stations all the time because he believes that that is the old regime that has to be overthrown. So that's something that appeals to voters. This idea of revolution appeals to voters on both sides. So that's one thing, this American ideal of revolution. But then there's a deeper thing, a deeper part of the American identity, which is that in contrast with most of the world's cultures, to be an American is to be what you believe. It's very different from most of the world. If you ask a Japanese person, why are you Japanese? That's a very strange question. They would say, I'm Japanese because I'm Japanese. In fact, most places it would be like that. You ask a Swedish person, why are you Swedish? I'm Swedish because I'm Swedish. Why are you Nigerian? Why are you Egyptian? You're Egyptian because you're an Egyptian. But America was created out of ideas. Americans came and they pulled themselves together into a government and into a common society based upon things that they all agreed were true. And so for Americans, if you ask an American, why are you an American? That is really actually a real question. The reason why Americans are capable of voting for someone like Barack Obama and also voting for someone like President Trump is that in voting for Barack Obama, people were not just voting for somebody that they thought could run our country. They were voting for somebody who represented a set of ideas. And again, ideas are who you are. And when those ideas didn't work out the way people wanted to, they became angry. And they looked for somebody who represented that anger and could express that anger in terms of ideas that they could vote for. And that was Donald Trump. I'm not going to tell you who I'm going to vote for. Maybe you can guess, but the deeper issue is that Americans do have these things in common. And while it's frustrating to watch what has happened to American politics, if Americans are able to return to these basic things that make them Americans, this belief in revolution and this belief that you are what you believe, are able to love each other for those shared qualities, America will survive. Take care. Bye-bye.